So Jesus' main thing was to make disciples, and I've been trying to wrestle with how Jesus made disciples. And what I've come up with is this little framework called the 7 Eyes of Discipleship. And basically, they're just going to map out how Jesus kind of went through the process of making disciples. So the first one is he made an impression, and he made an amazing impression for the kingdom of God. He proclaimed and taught and presented the kingdom of God in the most beautiful of ways. He cast out demons, he set people free, he healed them, he proclaimed the good news to the poor in a multitude of different ways, whether it was an old lady who was bleeding, or someone caught in adultery, or as a tax collector, or a sinner, or a leper. These amazing stories of how Jesus interacted with people, presenting and revealing the kingdom of God, and people came and flooded towards him as a result of him making an incredible impression for the kingdom. And as people came closer, the impression was made, but then he drew them into an invitation. Do you want to come and follow me? He kept asking people, do you want to come and follow me? Do you want to be my disciple? Do you want to be my apprentice? So the second stage is invitation, and this is crucial for us as a church. Firstly, we need to make an impression, which is way more than just being nice. It's an impression about the kingdom of God. And then the second thing is to do an invitation to people to come and enter into this kingdom and to become a follower of Jesus and to become his apprentice. So impression leads to invitation, but then as invitation is made, it's really interesting to note how Jesus ratchets up the call, or the cost of the call, to everyone that comes to him. So he says, foxes have holes and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. Or he tells the rich man, he said, there's one thing you lack, and that's to give away all that you have to the poor, and then come and follow me. It's as if to really be a disciple of Jesus, you have to know that you have to die. And so he makes this really clear. If you want to be my disciple, you have to follow me in my way of being human, which is to give yourself away for the sake of others. So he calls people intentionally into this decision, and the intentional decision is so crucial for people. And no one becomes a disciple by accident. They don't stumble into it and suddenly, oh, look, I'm a disciple. They have to make an intentional decision about whether to follow him or not. And after that, there's initiation, which is baptism. And he initiates them into the kingdom by symbolizing this incredible life, resurrection life, but also death, and giving away yourself through baptism, cleansing and renewing of the heart. It's an identity symbol of becoming part of a new humanity. So there's initiation, and then the last three are kind of immersion, imitation, and instruction, and these three hold together. And these is how we live once we've chosen to be a disciple. We all live by stories. Stories shape our lives, and Jesus gave us a new story to be part of, and he told the story again and again. He said, belong to this story, and he told stories that shaped our worldview, and this story is the crucial story of our life. So and you could call that instruction. So he told people stories and invited them into that, and he gave us guidelines and rules about how to live in this kingdom. And then the second thing was he immersed his disciples in a culture, in a community, in a family, in an environment where he would eat with them and talk with them and share with them and walk with them. And so they learned how to pray by watching Jesus, how to pray by being immersed in his community and in his culture. And then the last one is imitation. It's just about following him or copying him. It's not just about being near him or watching him from afar, but it's about actually intentionally becoming like him and trying to copy the practices that Jesus did. And so those last three, instruction, imitation, and immersion, are really crucial, and that's how people grow as disciples, as Christians. And so those seven hold together: impression, invitation, initiation, intention, initiation, and then the last three: immersion, imitation, and instruction.